Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about this Primary Arms PLX scope. This is the 1:8 first focal plane with the M8 Raptor. Okay, so this is a really good reticle design. When you're in 1X, you basically see a duplex reticle, right? You see those outer posts that guide you to the center, and then you got a horseshoe. Now I do prefer the I think it's the new updated version of this reticle in the 1:10 first focal plane, because that has an outer circle, and I have found that to be very effective for getting to the center. But this one works pretty good. Okay, it's decent. So anyway, in this video, I want to talk about auto ranging other things besides a man. Okay, so let me zoom in. As you zoom in, first focal plane, you're going to see the details of the reticle. So I've got a man over there, right? The guy in red, right? So let's auto range this guy real quick. So with this guy here, we see that his feet and his head line up with the 400-yard line. Okay, 400. So based on the size of a man, he's at about 400 yards. So if I was to shoot this guy, basically, this is the Raptor reticle. So I would line up. I mean, that also lines up with his chest. That's also what I would be using. That was also the bullet drop for 400 yards with 5.56. So I put that in his chest and pew 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 pew. All right. Now, if this was a mill grid, up through about 500 to about 500 yards, it kind of works the same. So I've started preferring the mill grid because it just offers some more options, I think. This one gives you a more dedicated bullet drop, and it gives you wind holes. Those dots are wind holes. So I've started kind of preferring the mill grid. That's what I got for my 1:10. But this Raptor is also great. Okay, so we're going to be talking about auto ranging other things besides a man. Like I got this what appears to be a car over there. So the fastest way I have found to get to auto range things besides people is if you come out here, right, where that blue car is. The fastest way to do it is to basically use these mill lines on the outer post, right? And I can see that it's at about the halfway point, right? Because so that car is about 2.5 mils wide. Okay, so most cars are about 6 feet wide. All right, so I'm measuring that 2.5 mil wide. So that basically works out to about 600 yards. Okay, so that's where that car is at 600 yards. Now behind that, I have a truck, right? So now both of these vehicles are kind of obstructed. So a lot of times you're just trying to get a fast, quick measurement, especially if it's going to start moving. So with this one here, as I'm measuring it, again, the back end being obstructed somewhat, but I can kind of see it. So it's about 6 mils wide. Let me do it on this side in case, sometimes so if I do it on this side, you can see it's about 6 mils wide. Okay, so most box trucks, because that's what that is, that's a box truck. Most box trucks are about 25 feet long. So that would measure out to about 1,400 feet. Okay, so I've actually had this scope, I had removed this scope from the rifle, and I basically took it out into the real world, and there was like trucks and cars that were running across a bridge. And I was able to, using the mill lines out here, right, on on the outer posts, right. I'm able to get quick measurements, right. Now, if you needed a finer measurement, you can basically go here, right. Like if I needed to get a finer measurement, I can count lines there, okay. Or what you can also do is you can use the dots, because if you go to the 800-yard line, those dots are about 1 mil apart. So you can count dots, and you can get, you can get a mill measurement. Okay, so that's another way of doing it. But especially with cars or things that are moving, I find that it's just easier to come to the outer posts, okay, and use these thick outer posts to measure. Hey everyone, I was just reviewing the video and I realized that the targets that I showed you guys, while being like realistic toy, because it was like toy cars and toy trucks, they were a little small and hard for you guys to see. So I'm gonna give you guys something bigger to look at. So let's take a look at this target over here. And if we look at this target over here, to the head, so this is about 20 mils tall, right? And then the width is about 10, about 11 mils wide. Okay, looking at this target. So this target, that could be a stoplight. That could be anything that you know the size of. Okay, so let's go in. Let's take a look at this other target here. So we got, let's see, use the barbell there. So that's about 18 mils tall, and where are you? On the width, 5, about 5 mils wide. Okay, with these, this isn't what it was designed for, but this is what how I have found it useful. The way what this was really designed for is for team. The reason why they put those mill lines there was for team navigation. So for example, if I tell you guys that from that blue car there, right, go 10 mils up, right, go 10 mils up, and then go about 55 mils to the right. All right, that's going to bring you right here. I'm going to tell you, take a look there. I think there's somebody hanging, that's hiding there that we got to keep an eye on. All right, you see him now? So that's what those things are. The mill lines on the outer posts, because are for team navigation, because you got a total of like 200 mils on the horizontal stadia and 200 on the vertical stadia line. But I have found these to be really useful for range estimating large things like trucks and airplanes and stuff like that. And the larger something is, the more accurate the measure is, because if you're just using a man, a lot of times you can't see his feet. A lot of times they're moving, the head's bopping up and down as they're moving. If you got something large like a truck, like all tractor trailers are about 75 feet long, 13.5 feet tall, there's less of a chance for error. You're going to be, even if you're off a little bit, you're not going to be that far off. So you generally want to range estimate large things like the trees over here. The tree line is about 80 feet tall. Okay, so range estimating a tree line is a really good way to gauge where something is out in the woods, because in my area the tree lines are about 80 feet tall. Okay, so I just want to make you guys aware of the mill lines on the outer post. Okay, back to that car now, right? So we're there. So you got these mill lines on the outer post that are really useful for getting a quick measurement, because these are